Yes. Alrighty. And my voice is back. Yes. Yay for me, boo for you. But alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for video number 2 on your WrestleMania Saturday, April the 19th, 2025. Thank you for watching right here on the main channel, Killer of Demon 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there, you know where it is by now, in the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to hit that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything, because if you do, you suck. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And if you're brand new here for the very first time, ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab a cold one, and enjoy the show. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, video number 2 here on your, like I said, WrestleMania Saturday. WrestleMania is coming up in a little over an hour from now. We just had a great NXT Stand and Deliver pay-per-view. Some good shit. Oba is still the champ. Great match with Trick Willie and Bouncy. That's Javon Evans. He retains the title. We have a new Women's North American Champion in Sol Ruka, the resident surfer girl. She went up that ladder and pulled down the title. Just an amazing finish. Soul snatching everybody to get the title. We got that. Stephanie Vercor still the NXT Women's Champion after defeating Julia Jada Parker and Jordan Grace. We had that. We have new Tag Team Champions in Hank and Spank, surprisingly beating Fraxium. We got that, and Dark State beat Tony D, my cousin Tony D, and the family, as I called it, Stacks Lorenzo turned on Tony D, kicked him right in his meatballs, and then Dark State pretty much put the family to bed. They get the win, and that's that. And we move on with that, and that's pretty much it for that. And also, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan are the new #1 contenders to the women's tag team titles, as they beat Metaphor, they beat Fatal Influence, and they beat Roxy and Corey Jade. Roxy said bye-bye to Corey Jade. She didn't even barely, do anything. And, we got that. But it was a pretty good NXT Stand and Deliver. We'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, if I have a voice by tomorrow, but we'll see what happens with that. I'm still coming down with a little bit of a cold at the wrong time, but so I think I'm getting Rose's cold now. Thanks a lot, asshole! So, I'm just trying to take some lozenges and, trying to get the lozenges in while I can, and drink some water and anything I can drink to keep my voice good. I'm gonna rest up after after Mania. And then what's even worse is it's 80 degrees today, and it's gonna be going down the rest of the night. Tomorrow's gonna be around 70, which isn't bad. It's supposed to rain a little bit tonight, so it's gonna cool down a little bit. But nice spring / early summer day here in the Northeast on your Easter Saturday. We got Easter Sunday tomorrow. It's where we praise the Lord, Jesus Christ the Lord. when he rose from the dead for our sins, and all that good shit. Let me move on. Alright, Mets baseball on today as well. Mets are up 2-0. Bottom of the 7th inning in Citi Field against the Cardinals. Seeing if they can win this series. Oh, almost hit the pitcher right in the head. Torrens with a missile right back to the starting pitcher for the Cardinals. And then he's lucky that he got a glove on that. Hello, wake up. So, barely got a glove on that. His life flashed before his eyes. And we got that. Alright. Alright, we move on with that. So, see what happens with the Mets today. They're still up by 1 game over the Filthies, whose bullpen sucks right now, but their bullpen sucked for years. But they still find a way to get into the playoffs, but with their offense. But what are you gonna do? Alright, enough about that. Hope you're having a great day, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about an hour away from the mecca of all sports, WrestleMania Night 1, opening with Jey Uso, the Yeet Man, taking on Walter for the World Heavyweight Championship, and ending with our Tribal Chief, put up your ones, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns, taking on Seth freaking Rollins, and CM Puke with the former Wise Man. My name is Paul Heyman at ringside, and we shall see what happens with that in about an hour from now. So we got that, and then we got the scrum. Probably about 11 o'clock, 11:30. And then that's pretty much it. And then Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2. Opening with Io, Mommy Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. And closing with John Cena and Cody for the Undisputed title. Then the scrum after that. And then to close out Mania week, Monday Night Raw from the T-Mobile Center in Vegas. And that's pretty much it. Alright, but before we get to that, really quickly, I want to give you my Smackdown thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. Alright, so Smackdown last night wasn't that bad. A couple of things that pissed me off. So, we are from the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And Joe Tessitore and Bad News Weed Bennett. I'm afraid I got some bad news, Joe. My voice sucks right now, Joe. So we got that. Joe Tessitore and Bad News Wade Barrett at ringside. And let's start it off. Alright, so we open up with Seth freaking Rollins. Alright, Seth comes out in a suit. That's at the Men's Warehouse, because that's, as always, our sponsor, the Men's Warehouse. When you go, maybe, just maybe, you will like the way you look. I cannot personally guarantee that, but when I go, they guarantee it. Alright, so Seth's usually not on SmackDown, but he does Welcome to Friday Night Rollins. Fans start chanting for Punk, and then Rollins sits down, Punk style. And then the OTC chant for our Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, starts. Rollins is like, I don't want to talk about Roman, I want to talk about Punk for a little bit. And, talks about Punk going, leaving 10 years ago to get a fat check. And, he was talking about him and Roman for over a decade with the Shield. We're basically the Shield for CM Punk. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, every year Roman gets treated as the biggest thing in the world, but there are always CM Punk chants. And while that's going on, Ronald's like, I was working hard every day, sacrificing my body. And last year, I was there despite my knee hanging by a thread and my stepfather dying of cancer. And the fans are singing his theme song. Talks about how the story will end at WrestleMania, where he will lay it on the line to move his business forward. And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. So see what happens with Seth Rollins tonight against Roman and Punk. I think we all know what might happen. And that's that. Alright, so I gave that 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Smackdown. Alright, then we get a WrestleMania rundown early, but we get more. Alright, then we get a video on the 8th Wonder of the World, Andre the Giant. We get to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We had Rey Fenix, Shinsuke Nakamura, Andrade, Otis, Humberto Carrillo, Angel Garza, Kit Wilson, and Elton Strong. Duh. Yes, boys. Akira Tozawa, Santos, Carmelo Hayes, Carlito, Julius, and Brutus Creed are full. Joaquin Wilde, Raul Mendoza, The Miz, Killer Cross, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Marcel Barthel, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, Chad Gable, surprisingly, and Dragon Lee. Alright, so it was a pretty good match. We get to the final four, which was Shinsuke Nakamura, Andrade, Rey Fenix, and Carmelo Hayes. Andrade eliminated Shinsuke, so we're down to 3. Phoenix then throws Carmelo Hayes and Andrade over, but they hang on for the save. Phoenix tries a rope walk. And then El Grande Americano, gracias. Then he comes out and pulls out Rey Fenix to eliminate him, even though it wasn't really elimination, but they went with it. So now it's down to Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. They battled it out in a 7-match series, which I believe Melo won. And we had a double knockdown, gives us a breather. Melo grabs a suplex into a Gilbert Kata. Bang! And then for some odd reason, Andrade tries a springboard, and Melo tosses him out to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal in 15.5 minutes. So, congrats to Melo. I was thinking Killer Cross would win it, but obviously not. I think he's going to be gone anyway. I think Killer Cross is going back to TNA. I don't know about AEW. We'll see what happens with that when we get there. Alright, so Melo gets the trophy. We'll see what happens with him. You know, and every person who's won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy has got a big push, and then downhill they went. So I'll probably get a little bit of a push from Melo. You know, him and Miz are teaming up. Maybe go after the Smackdown tag team titles. And maybe Melo goes after the United States title. I don't know about the world title, but we'll see what happens with that. And then pretty much they'll de-push him. I say by the end of the year, they'll probably de-push him again. Back to catering or whatever. And that's that. Miz comes out to celebrate, and that's that. Alright, then we get Wade Barrett with a sit-down interview with Horseface Charlotte Flair in a hotel. Charlotte doesn't like where her feud with Tiffy Tiff is going, or has gone, but she's ready to be on the big stage. And she's going to win number 15. If she does, we'll see. And that's that. Alright then, Mommy Rhea Ripley comes out, says this is my 6th WrestleMania. You know, I've always wanted to be in a title match, but this feels more important. Talks about losing the title right before WrestleMania to Io, and this Sunday she wants to win back what she lost. So on cue, Io comes out looking amazing. But before she can even say anything, Bianca Belair, she comes out with her hair. That's actually her hair. She's Bianca Belair. Bianca comes out and wants the belt. But then Naomi comes out, and I'm like, wait, why is Naomi coming out? And Naomi says, I've been trying to talk to you for weeks now because you wanted to handle everything with Jade in private, but instead we're going to do this right here, right now in front of the fans because Jade wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. But yes, Jade is here. She comes out, and then Rhea gets in Jade's face, says, oh, we're not doing this now. Foreshadowing? I don't know. And then Naomi knocks Jade right into Mommy Rhea Ripley and Bianca. Big old brawl happens, and Io's just like stuck in the middle. And then referees and security come out, but Io's like, well, I'm not gonna stand for this. She's like, yeah, go crazy. She say, moonsault off the top to wipe out Mommy Rhea Ripley. Mommy Rhea Ripley and Bianca. And then she's like, go crazy. And everybody's loving it. I hope Io wins tomorrow, but I think they're going to give it to Bianca, so we got that. Alright, then American made her in the back, and they mock Rey Fenix for getting eliminated by El Grande Americano, and then Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio Booyaka come in. They tease a fight, but we get a 6-man tag team match out of that a little bit later on. And that's that. Alright, moving on to the tag team titles. We got the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, taking on the Dark Prophets, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Was a decent match until DIY fucked it up. As the Motor City Machine Guns were about to go for Skull and Bones. To win the titles, but then DIY come out, cause a double disqualification. So the Profits keep the belts, but DIY stole the belts. They brought them in the back, and then Nick Aldis like, nope, give them back the belts right now. And then he makes a TLC match for next week. And everybody's like, boo! Should have been at Mania! Yeah, I agree. Get New Day and War Machine, put that on Raw. Stupid decision here, Nick Aldis. You moron. And that's that. Alright, Chelsea Green and her Secret Harvest, that's Piper Niven and Alba Fire. They served Nick Aldis with an official complaint. Aldis says there is a complaint, so tonight's 6-woman tag team match is now Chelsea Green against Selena Vega, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. And Alba Fire and Piper are banned from the ring, and they start screaming like banshees. We get that. Alright, then we find out that Cardi B is going to host SummerSlam in August 2nd and 3rd in MetLife Stadium. So, I was thinking they wouldn't do it, but they are going to do it. So, we're going to see Cardi B both nights. It's going to be and we got that. Alright, then we got Randy Orton and his monotonous voice. He comes out for a chat and said, this is going to be my 20th WrestleMania. My dad was at the very first one. I was there too, Randy. And 20 years later, he made his debut at Madison Square Garden. I don't know about that. Anyway. Still doesn't have an opponent for Mania. But he's putting out an open challenge to anybody in any company, anybody basically. He's gonna put on just the right amount of baby oil. So anyone in the back can come test themselves. Just be ready for an RKO. So we'll see who Randy's opponent is going to be tomorrow. I'm thinking it might be Rusev. I doubt it's going to be Aleister Black, because he's going to be on Smackdown this coming Friday, because they had a vignette, and they put the date 4/25/25, which is this Friday. So that was nice. And Zelina Vega, who's in the next match, she was all giggity like, my boyfriend, my husband's back. They should put Tommy End with Zelina. I'm just saying. But we got that. Alright, we go to the back. Well, actually, we don't go to... Well, we do go to the back after Poppy Priest and Drew McIntyre get into a fight at the WrestleMania kickoff show. And then Byron Saxton talks to Poppy, who's tired of Drew being a victim, and says that tomorrow in a Sin City street fight, Poppy's gonna beat him so bad that he wishes he was future endeavored again. And then he says, Drew, I'm going to bury you. So we got that. Alright, then we had Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green 2. Zelina wins the match with a Super Code Red. Very nice. And it looks like the Mets are about to blow this game. AJ Minter from JD's Braves on the mound now. First and second, 1 out. It's not going to be good. Gotta get a strikeout or a double play would be nice. But we got that. And yes, it is going to be raining pretty soon because it's getting really cloudy and going to rain a little bit. But it should be okay for the rest of the night here in the Northeast. And then should be okay tomorrow. It's going to be 67 to 70 degrees tomorrow. So still going to be not going to be as warm as today, but you can wear your light jacket out to your Easter festivities and all that good shit. When going to church and all that good stuff. Here's a double play ball. No. Alright, fielder's choice. Slowly hit ball. And to get one, they get the lead runner, so it's first and third. 2 outs for the Cardinals. Let's see what happens with that. So they got the lead runner. And now Nolan Arenado, the Met Killer, is up now. Oy, oy, oy. So hopefully they can get him out. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning and get a couple extra insurance runs. And then let Diaz do his damage. And that's that. Alright, so Chelsea Green loses to Zelina Vega after Zelina hits the Super Code Red. And that's pretty much it. We move on. Alright, we get Eli Drake, the United States Champion. That's not an insult, that's a fact of life. Yeah! Talks about trying to take out Jacob Fatu's relatives. So it's 1-on-1. So he took out Tama, who went to the hospital after he got his hand smashed in by a car door early. Smackdown went on the air, and Jacob was not around. Blah 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 blah. So he wants it to be 1-on-1 with him and Jacob at Mania. And he says the U.S. title means the most in WWE because he's around the most. So Solo can get out here right now and take his beating. So Solo Mibuki comes out for our next match, which didn't last that long, a little over 3.5 minutes. Eli hits a DDT, looks to go for the BFT on Solo, but Jacob Fatu comes out for a beatdown to cause a disqualification. And then Braun Strowman comes out for the save, and Nick Aldis like, we're gonna have a tag team match, player. So we get to an impromptu tag match. Braun Strowman and Eli Drake take on Solo and Jacob Fatu. Hey, Jacob even brought out the "I love you, Solo!" That was fun. But in the end, Braun is sent over the announcer's table by Jacob. And with Jacob on the outside, Eli hits the BFT on Solo to pin him 1, 2, 3 in a pretty meh match. And that's that. Alright, then we get Timmy Tiff talking to Wade Barrett. She's tired of being taken advantage of, and she's gonna, this is her biggest test to date, and she's gonna try to remain the SmackDown Women's Champion. We'll see. I hope she does tonight, but we'll see. Happens with that. Alright, then we got a 6-man tag team match. Ray Phoenix teaming with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against the Creed brothers. Can you get him out? Yes! Bases loaded. And a little dribbler up the middle. Lindor got it, spun around, had enough time, and got the out. Mets get out of a huge jam. Go to the bottom of the 8th, still up 2-0. And we'll see if they can get some insurance runs. And that's that. Alright, so they take on American Made, the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, and Chad Gable. Thank you! Pretty good match, 9-minute match. Rey Mysterio legit got injured in this match, and his status for WrestleMania is a game-time decision. So I don't know if he's going to be facing El Grande Americano, or it could be Rey Phoenix, it could be Dragon Lee in his place. I don't know if he hurt his ankle or he hurt his leg again. So hopefully Rey has a speedy recovery, and we'll see what happens with that. But in the end, Rey Phoenix gets the pin off a top rope Meteora after him and Dragon Lee teamed up pretty well. And we get that. So the LWO and Rey Phoenix get the win. And that's that. Alright, then we get the hype video for Roman, Punk, and Seth Rollins. Set to Machine Heads sail into the black. Metal is back, baby! Oh yeah, I want more of this. And we get that. Alright, then we go to the final segment of the night. Cody! MDK like Cody, you bitch. And John Cena going back and forth. It was great. Cena says, shut up! Shut your mouth, kid! John Cena, you don't love them kids. And he talks about, he talks about Cody, being a wimp and this and that. And he's like, last year, you won the title, but I told you it gets heavier every day. And he says, on Sunday, the title reign comes to an end, as I prove that the fans don't matter. You want to beat somebody, and on Sunday, you find out that you're just a kid playing in a man's world. So Cody then brings up Cena saying that he doesn't bury talent, but there's a graveyard of people who would disagree on that. And then, he's like, hey John, do you know that the person that gave you the person that gave you the mic's name? Do you know the cameraman's name? Do you know anybody in the back's name? It's a different time, a different place now, John. And the reality is, John, you're out of touch, out of time. That's my line, Cody, you faggot. You bitch. Anyway, he says, John, you're paler than Sting at Starrcade 97. Damn. And it's 2025 and you still can't wrestle. Cena says the fans don't know what they want, and I don't even have to wrestle you to beat you, Cody. So Cena with a Roddy Piper poke in the eye, picks him up for the AA that gets reversed in the Crossroads. So Cody put down Cena on Raw and on Smackdown this week. So you know what that means. Cena's winning tonight. Tomorrow, I should say. And that's pretty much it. And then one more WrestleMania rundown, and we're good to go. That's that. Alright, so Smackdown wasn't a bad show. I gave it 7 out of 10 stars. Wasn't as great as Raw, but that's all I gotta say about that. So 7 out of 10 stars for Smackdown before Mania. And that's that. Let me your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. What you guys thought of Smackdown last night. And that's pretty much it. Alright, we're about 45 minutes away from WrestleMania. I'm gonna pre-record my Mania predictions on TGC 67. And that's pretty much it. So I am out of here, guys. Until next time, enjoy WrestleMania. And I'll see you again next time. Peace.